Welcome to a Market Down production. My name is Simple Plan. I am joined by Sun41, and this is the Blame Canada tour, or sometimes known as Danny's Raw Fast Forward. And yeah, we're live and we're doing a full review, so it's not going to be super fast, but it's faster than Raw, so I guess the name still applies. But real quick, before we get going, let's give the people some time to get in here. So that being
Yes.
said, Psalm 41, how are you? How was your day?
It is just so hot. It is just so
Right.
hot. And I usually love the heat, but either I've got to lose weight or I've got an overactive sweat gland right now. And I need some relief.
I think that it's just, even if you lost weight, not saying you need to, but even if you did, uh, it would just be, you would still sweat. I don't think that goes away anymore. Like once that happens, I don't think there's any going back. But
This is just my life now, you know?
yeah, because I still sweat all the time despite having lost weight. So it doesn't help as much as you think. But yeah, other than that, your day was good.
Yeah. How was your day?
Oh my God, I'm so glad you asked. Thank
Oh
you.
boy, it was a trap. Oh,
No. My day, well, I was downtown earlier for work and I saw a baby in a car with the windows up and the car was off. So, you know, it's been a good day so far.
I don't know if I believe you or if you're messing with me.
I don't understand why you wouldn't believe me,
uh,
but I am just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Thank God.
I read a book today. I read the biography of the guy who the guy who made Mario, like Mario Bros. And did you know that when he was a kid, he used to get ridiculed when he would mindlessly kill turtles? And
Jesus.
look at him now. That's a
Jesus
true
Christ.
story.
Again,
I
I don't
know.
know if I believe you, but this is just the world. Like, I believe that that's possible.
I don't understand why you wouldn't. But that being said, I think we've monologued enough and we
I
can
think so
talk
too.
about Monday Night Raw. And unfortunately, in what was overall a decent to good episode of Raw, we have to start with the main event, which was the finals of the women's tag team title tournament to crown new, not interim, new Raw or new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions.
I
The
never want
match.
to hear the term interim again. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
tell me about it. Tell me about it. We'll save the shitting on AEW for Wednesday when we review Dynamite. But, you know, it was Dakota Kai and Io Scarai versus Raquel Rodriguez and her friend. And oh boy, was this match whatever, but we got to talk about the ending. The ending was terrible. So throughout the match, Bailey's getting involved, shenanigans, typical heel stuff. She's being a good leader. I like when a leader of a faction helps the people beneath them in the faction win matches and not just the other way around. So that's nice. Raquel kicks out of what is it? The best moonsault ever? Is that the name
Yeah,
of it? Yeah.
yeah.
She kicks out of it like it was
No,
nothing.
no, that's Christopher Daniels moonsault.
Okay, so what's hers? It's the
I
something
I
over
don't
the
know.
moonsault. Over the
Yeah, over the
moonsault.
moonsault.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I dropped something. I'm just picking it up. But she kicked out of it, and then Bianca, Alexa, and Asuka come literally hobbling down to the ring. I swear to God, go look it up. Bianca is like hop, stepping, skipping. Like it's so weird. It's almost like she was chasing someone but knew she was too fast and had to slow down.
Right,
It
was weird. That was
she
so
was
weird.
20 feet away from Bailey, so I don't know why she was running like that. She was running like she had one heel on, one heel off, but she's in her boots. Like it didn't make any sense. I don't know what that was about. Someone make a gif of it though, please. But anyway, they come out, they chase Bailey off, and then Aaliyah rolls up Dakota Kai, and for some godforsaken reason, the most Franken of the fucking Franken teams are now the women's tag champs. No Sasha and Naomi, no dominant faction that's supposed to be booked strong winning. I can only assume that this was just a late decision to make people think that the faces might win on Saturday at Clash at the Castle, which is dumb. And I think honestly the dumbest booking decision of Triple H's run so far by a good margin. But they had fireworks, they had pyro, and the show just went off the air with all the baby faces celebrating. And I think this makes Bailey and the Huggers look like fucking chumps. I think getting pinned by Aaliyah is embarrassing. I think, and it's nothing against Aaliyah. She has a very likable face, and that's all I could say about her because like there's nothing to her as a character, but like she seems nice.
She's the girl who threw up that one time on TV.
You know, it happened so quick that I missed it because I was, fast forwarding. But sure. I think it's really bad. Their Franken team, I think. Why didn't you just have Alexa and Asuka win then at that point? Like, why didn't you have them on the opposite side of the bracket? Why didn't you have Toxic Attraction in the tournament from the beginning and set to win? I know circumstances got in the way, but also supposedly Gigi is already like cleared again. So you could have. This was avoidable. I didn't like it, but what did you think about it?
I'm confused. I'm confused and conflicted because I like Aaliyah and I feel that she just hasn't been given an opportunity to succeed. So this is a nice way, like no disrespect to tag team wrestling because I love tag team wrestling, but at least with the women's tag titles that haven't ever truly been treated like a big deal, you can experiment a little bit and it's not going to really destroy your storylines or overthrow the status quo. It's the tag titles. They're not that big a deal. They could lose them next week, and I don't think anyone's going to care that much. So give it to Aaliyah. Raquel Gonzalez, or now she's Raquel Rodriguez now on the main roster. She's a proven entity in NXT. And, she's been dominant on SmackDown. I think her only loss came to Ronda. So I get the idea behind it, but it kind of just feels like Triple H said, these were my NXT kids. I didn't have enough time with Raquel, and I didn't get to do anything with Aaliyah. So now I'm going to do stuff with them on the main roster. For better or for worse. So, we'll see. Again, there are other teams that I think would have been better, like you said, like Toxic Attraction would have been great if they were able to figure out the timing. Asuka and Alexa, who generally do nothing when they're not in the title. Well, less so with Alexa, but Asuka, who if she's not in the title picture, tends not to do anything. Why not put the tag titles on her again? Give Alexa another tag title run. But, I'm open to it because I like the performers involved. I just don't understand the decision not to put it on the hottest women's act right now, which is Control Your Narrative. Damage Control.
Bailey and the Huggers. Damage Control. Funny you bring that up because that was a decent to okay show on MTV/MTV2, hosted by Pierre Bouvier, lead singer of Simple Plan. Weirdly,
it's full circle, man. We knew.
Oh boy, that is insane. Anyway, you could have had Nikki ASH and Doudrop, the only people that were a tag team going into the fucking tournament ahead of time. They could have been in this fight. Like, it makes no sense. I'd rather Sonya Deville and Natalya been here just because I want Sonya Deville to do something. Like that's how much I like Sonya Deville that I would settle for Natalya getting something she doesn't deserve.
How weird is it also that they had a babyface team win? You almost never get a babyface tournament winner. It's very rare.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. But man, I'm sick of tournaments. I'm sick. It's like, how am I going to take this? You're not taking the tag title seriously already off the bat and immediately, right? They're already they're diminished upon being refurbished. We sent it in to be refurbished, to be fixed up, cleaned up. We got it back. It's the same. It's not better. is not. Yeah, Dana Brooke and Tamina are a better team than this. What the fuck? Like, there's. Were they watching backstage this week? I didn't notice actually because I don't,
they were not awkwardly looking at a television backstage.
So they just dropped that story. Oh my god, this division's falling apart. Oh,
throw the company away. Throw Triple H away.
I don't know. We got some people watching. If any of you guys liked this outcome, please let us know. But I don't have much else to say about it. I don't think there is much to say about it besides it's a weird overall, not great choice. Match was passable.
Yeah, nothing memorable about it.
I'm going to break down some of the problems right away, and then we can move on. Aaliyah main evented Raw. That's part of the problem, right? And again, no offense. Aaliyah seems very likable, and I think she has some babyface potential, but she's not main event material yet.
Yeah,
Raquel,
emphasis on yet. Yeah,
Raquel is almost there, but she hasn't done anything besides the 2 good matches with Ronda. It's like she needs more. The Hugger should have been in the main event. That's fine. That's why they should have been winning. That's why I accepted it as the main event, because I'm like, well, you're crowning the champions is a big deal, and I just don't get it. Why wouldn't you have the Raw Women's Champion and Alexa and Asuka, the double A's, if you will, feuding with Bayley and the women's tag team champions? Doesn't that just make more sense? I don't know.
I was also willing to give them the pass that, especially if Bayley and the Huggers won, that we were expecting. And it's not WWE's fault. They didn't hype it up. They didn't allude to it. They didn't tease it. This is the fans. I'm one of them. I'm a mark. I assumed we were going to see the return of Sasha and Naomi. I thought that that's how this was going to close out. And we didn't get that. We didn't get Sasha. We didn't get Naomi. We just got a congratulations, Aaliyah looking confused that she actually got the win, Raquel crying that she carried that match for 80% of it and then didn't get to pin at the end. But I know I'm coming across as negative. I'm happy for the 2 of them. I'm excited that the belts are back, especially because there does seem to be an emphasis on a division now. So I'm cautiously optimistic because for the most part, everything else that has happened since Triple H has taken over has been good. So I'm willing to give them a pass on this weird tournament finale to see what comes next.
That is a great point, and I think Triple H has earned a little bit of trust in that regard. And the women's division overall has been pretty good since he took over, and honestly since before he took over, but everyone seems to love just pouring credit onto him. But I will say, I don't think Triple H has proven anything in terms of tag team wrestling, because what's going on in any tag division? There is no men's tag division. There's just the Usos.
I can't really put too much blame on him on that, or just on the company. Yes, I can. It's just everything wrapped in the bloodline. It just those belts are held hostage. The heavyweight belt is held hostage. The tag belts are held hostage. And granted, we did get some seeds planted tonight in that regard, but we'll get there, I'm assuming, eventually.
Yep.
Stay tuned, people.
And then, but we'll see. That'll be great. That will be great. So, there's a criticism I can throw out now. I can't throw that out like 4 weeks from now, but, for now.
So let's get it out now.
I have no faith in the women's tag division immediately because of this decision, but I would love to be proven wrong because I do care. But we're going to move on to the top of the show. But real quick, I noticed you have a John Cena shirt on. 20 years of John Cena. Is that new?
It was when he came back at
a month ago or 2?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I think I can make like a quilt out of all the shirts I have of just Cena. Just Cena.
You should, and then have that be your new background. But what do you think about John Cena partying with Vince McMahon for his birthday?
I'm not surprised. You had Brock there, you had Taker there, you had Pat McAfee there, you had Cena there, all guys who Vince did they made a lot of money together over the years. Let's just put it that way. So I am not surprised. Cena's always been very pro Vince. Truth be told, I'm surprised Bryan Danielson wasn't there. I'm surprised Edge wasn't there. You know, none of it surprised me. And let the old man have a happy birthday with a woman who wasn't Linda. And I want to know, I have so many questions.
Oh man, if he didn't retire, he definitely would have came out on Raw with that woman. But anyway, we'll move on to the top of the show. The show opened up with AJ Styles music hidden. And when's the last time Raw opened with AJ Styles? That feels like, man, he's really fallen off. But it's okay. He's still over. He's still upper mid card. He'll never feel lower than upper mid card, even when he's not treated as such. So
yeah.
And then his lower card tag partner, Dolph Ziggler, entered, and then oh boy, did Jimmy Smith have a clunky transition into a Judgment Day video package here, where he was like, AJ Styles was there for the start of Judgment Day with his initial feud with Edge, but now Edge has been feuding with Judgment Day and Finn Balor, and then through to just so clunky and such a bad throw, who is, I don't want to shit on Jimmy Smith because I'll always have a soft spot for him because he was one of the original commentators on American Ninja Warrior, and I think he's still one of the better commentators in that show's history. No offense to everyone that's come after him, but you know, so I don't want to give him too much shit, but that was a clunky transition. And then to follow up, these are my only notes on commentary, because then I just started tuning them out again, because it turns out Michael Cole's the best commentator, and it's weird. But
yep.
Corey, after Judgment Day extension, says, no one has been adequately prepared for Judgment Day, as if they haven't lost half their fucking matches since Finn took over.
Danny, let me stop you right there.
Sure, I was done.
They've lost more than half of their matches. It's not just half. They've lost. They are under 500. They have to be.
Yep. So yeah, I guess even without Vince in their ear, some of the commentary is just still bad.
I mean, I get it. You have to hype them up, and if you say, "Well, yeah, this team that's really been struggling out the gate," it's not a great hype package for them. But yeah, I would have said almost anything else to make them seem imposing.
Yep. You could have just said they were angry after last week or anything, but whatever. And then we had a tag match. It was Finn and Damian Priest versus AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler. You know what I would have loved? I would have loved a single, just one, conversation between AJ Styles and Finn Balor since Finn took over the Judgment Day. Just one.
Totally agree.
That would have been just fantastic, right? But no, we have a match here. They don't interact. There's no promo beforehand. And you know what? I think you guys are smart enough to figure out who won. So I'm not going to tell you who won. And we're going to move on to the post-match.
Wait, no. I got to say, I did like the match. It's the first time in a long time it felt like AJ cared about the match he was having. I'm so used to him being stuck with Omos and then just kind of not floundering as a wrestler, but just floundering as a character for so long, that this is the first feud in a while that it felt like, I know it's a joke, but when Vince called AJ like his pit bull, that's what it felt like. It felt like that, like pit bull AJ a little bit. And I love the little touches. As much as I agree with you that it sucks that there was no conversation or anything between AJ and Finn since they teamed up against Judgment Day and then Finn became Judgment Day, I did like that AJ was so hesitant to actually fight Finn in this match. He stopped himself from hitting him. And I think that I don't know if that's something for the future. I kind of feel like it's not. But at the very least, it was a nice touch in this match for me.
Yeah, I wish we had just anything between these two moments so that that would have felt more special,
Yeah.
and more earned and more of a psychological moment, an emotional moment. But that's okay. And yeah, the match was good. I'm not saying it wasn't. Just it's a match with a bunch of people who are stagnant at best. So it is what it is. Post match, Judgment Day are walking up the ramp. Take that as you will, as in regards to who won. But then we get on the screen Edge arrive into the arena late for work. Good job, buddy. That's a write up in my book. But Judgment Day sees this and they're like, "Oh no, Edge is here. You know what? I'm pissed. Let's get back in the ring and cut a promo." And they cut to commercial. And I actually kind of like that as like a formatted thing. I thought that was a little different, a nice little touch. Real quick, you're John Blattner. What's up? Welcome in. How you doing? How's your day?
Hello.
What's going on? Just selling the NFTs today? But anyway, they cut some promos. They're all mad. Everyone's mad. I thought Priest was good here because he was still a heel, but he admitted that he lost. He didn't make real excuses for it. He made like cheap heel excuses. He's like, I kept my word. I left Judgment Day in the back, and you won because the ref was like inept and couldn't make the count when I hit my finisher. I thought it was really nice. Like it was being like, yeah, I admit I lost. That's rare for a heel to take that, even if he made the little excuses to protect himself. It's a nice touch. And then Edge comes out and he's like, yeah, we're not in my hometown. We're in Britsburg, and that's fine. And oh boy, was this crowd not as loud as it is for a Britt Baker entrance. But he says that they're all upset and they sound emo because they couldn't score tickets to the My Chemical Romance tour.
It's topical. It's topical.
And it is. I was literally at that show 2 days ago, and you know what? I will tell you, it was just okay. It was.
Don't say that. My girlfriend spent a lot of money on a ticket for a show coming up.
Barclays?
Yeah.
No, it's good because it's important. It's MCR, and they have their historical significance in music, especially in the emo community. But I've been to like 6 concerts this year, and that was my least favorite. And I'll just say that it was a very no. It'll be good. Like, where are you sitting? Are you sitting up in the seats?
I'm not going. I'm not going.
Okay, she's sitting like way up in the seats, or is she on the floor?
She spent like triple digits, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to say how much she spent on a ticket. But
I think almost any seat was triple digits. So it's actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
in the middle. In the middle.
It's great to be there. I'm glad I went, and I can say that I went, but I wouldn't go again.
All right. Fascinating. Okay.
It was just a little like they played the songs and that was it. And it was really hard to understand. They're not the best live. But the crowd was amazing. The crowd was fantastic. I heard every word the crowd saying. Anyway, then Edge also he quotes Damian Priest, who was yelling before, like, come out here and face your Judgment Day. And then Edge, making fun of him, was like, you said you can face the Judgment Day, or whatever that means. Like, he didn't create the fucking group.
And name it, and fucking name it. Yes, thank you.
Oh,
thank you.
I love Edge, but sometimes he says these things that are so uncharacteristically hypocritical that you can't just throw in like he's a heel doing this, or like, it's like, bro, like, sometimes you just think of something you think is a good burn and you don't care that the context around it makes no sense.
That is that's Edge going all the way back to when he was a heel going against Cena. He just said things, but anyway.
Yeah, I agree, John. I got 3 Cheers and the Black Parade are classic albums. They're important. Just, like, hey, Fall Out Boy isn't good live either. But they're a big deal. I'd still go see them, even though I know I wouldn't think they were that good live. But it's like, they still wrote From Under the Cork Tree, and Take This to Your Grave. So like, I do it. I have to do it. I was so emo. I have to like do it, but also they dropped out of the Hell Mega Tour because someone on their team got COVID, and I'll never forgive them for that. But
forgetting COVID, yeah. How dare they?
Well, they didn't get COVID. Someone on their team got COVID. Just
gotcha.
It was avoidable, and we didn't get a refund for that, or we didn't get part of our money back. We either had to get a full refund and not go, or
That's fucked up. Yeah.
you know, and then they never did like a makeup tour for that. So that's, but it's okay because Green Day is way better than them. Has always been way better than them, and they fucking nailed it. And Weezer was there. So anyway, that was a fine. It was a long opening to Raw. I'm glad they put so much time into this, even if like I didn't like bits and pieces of it. And like you said earlier, the match was good. It was exciting. It had its. I mean, all the people in the ring are good. So like that's not surprising. But
we didn't even get to the Mysterios of it all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Actually, we got to talk about that. You're right. Good job. Keep it fucking MC.
Tight.
Man.
Keeping it tight.
Oh man. So yeah, Edge just cutting his stupid little promo, and then he's like, "I didn't come alone, even though my wife, who was like way cooler than me last week, isn't here. I do have backup." And the Mysterios come and they attack with kendo sticks, like heels, jumping them from behind, like heels, using the numbers advantage, like heels, and they chase them off. And then Dom is left in the ring with Rhea Ripley. Dom has a kendo stick, and Rhea's like, "You're a punk ass bitch, and you're not gonna hit me with that. So you might as well hand it over, you little sub cock motherfucker." You know.
Don't forget Beta. Don't forget Beta. Yes, throw that in there too.
Beta cock motherfucker. Why don't you just give me the fucking kendo stick and bend over and take your fucking spanking? And Dom was like, I guess I will. I'm standing here with my stupid haircut. I look like I would get beat up by the Karate Kid. Like, you know, like I'm so fucking lame. And he hands it over like a chump. Edge and Ray come in the ring. They're like, "What are you doing? This is why you're a 16-year-old. I don't care what your actual age is. You're 16." And then Rhea is, because Rhea's the only star in this whole program, was so badass and wanted to fight all of them with the kendo stick and had to be pulled out of the ring hilariously, might I add, by Priest and Finn. Loved this. Rhea looked amazing. Rhea is such a fucking star.
She really is.
I think a combination of what happened in the main event and this gives a lot of credence to what I said last week, that I don't think Bayley and the Huggers are going to do shit.
Yeah, me neither.
Rhea's the only one who's going to take that title off of Bianca.
And I don't need it anytime soon either. Like, that is a Mania match.
I don't think we're getting it to Mania, but I think we'll get it late this year, Royal Rumble time, something along those lines.
I'll take it.
I don't know. I don't see them doing a full year title reign. But I could be wrong. They could do it. I just don't know what you do after Bayley, but before Rhea. But hey, we'll see. Triple H has a lot of plans. We could have 18 different people back by then, so who knows?
Fair.
You know? So real quick, the Dufresnes are back. What about the Dufresnes? No one seems to care. Miz is back. He's backstage. He's just back on TV. This is lame. That was so lame. Like, just have him off TV for like 2 weeks, right? Anyway, he's backstage with Ciampa. What were you gonna say?
If they didn't have Dexter arrested on NXT last week, I would agree. But there is a continuity to this story that at least makes it okay to me that he's back already. You know, he must have gotten away. Go ahead.
But like, show, don't tell. You know, they told, they didn't show.
Yeah.
Like, show, well, I mean, they getting out, like escaping, like show anything.
But they showed Dexter getting arrested last week, and the implication of that was he got arrested because he kidnapped Miz.
But like, how do they know where Miz is? Does that mean that Dexter complied with the police? And you know, also, where's his bruises? Did the police not rough him up? Actually, no, it's a whole can of worms I don't want to open up. But you know, he actually looks like he would be a cop, actually. But a highway patrol cop.
The mustache, right? Super Troopers.
Picture him pulling you over. You can see it. But anyway, yeah, we'll get back to the Miz because he's sprinkled throughout the show. Kevin Fitzpatrick or whatever his name is tried to interview him, and Miz was like, "I don't want to do it." And Miz, look, I don't like that Miz was back. I would have liked him to disappear for a little bit, hopefully retire. But like, you know, he did a great job in the show.
He did.
I won't give him his dues. I just think it would have been cooler if he was written off TV. But you know, we'll come back to the Miz because it's gonna come up again throughout the show. Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa come out and they face a bunch of jobbers. Shockingly, they win the match.
I know.
So
One of those jobbers was definitely like, this is my main character moment. And she did way more than she should have. She was screaming. She was getting in like intense looks and like bringing it to Asuka a little bit. And if this is it for her, I'm glad she had her TV moment.
No, she'll be on AEW Dark soon enough.
Honestly, yeah.
Oh, man. So they win. And during this, they cut a promo after. It wasn't good, but it was a promo. And it did its job, I guess. During this, I see a guy in all black run behind them, but in front of the commentary table in the background of the shot and hop over the barricade. And I got to think that was a security guard because he was wearing all black. It went too quick for me to see if it was a guard or not. So I was like, oh, is this a Dexter Loomis bit? Or is this an actual fan running by? Because now we don't know. Like, if you're a fan and you want to do this, like, this is the fucking time. Like, don't do it because you deserve whatever happens to you.
We do not condone jumping the barricade here at the Marketdown podcast.
But now I'm just like, oh, I don't know anymore. Like, you know, you just can't tell. And that's the good thing. I've really grown to like the Dexter Loomis stuff.
I'm glad.
I guess it's because he kidnapped the Miz, honestly. But, you know, and the pop for some reason that he got last week was really loud, which really shocked me. But anyway, there was also a sign in the crowd for this promo that said, "We want Naomi, not Botcha Banks." And all I could think of was, we
found the guy. We found the guy. We found the one guy who is hoping for Naomi to come back, but not Sasha. He exists. He's out there. We got to interview him.
Yeah, sure. Oh man, I was about to show him. So I get, yeah, no, totally come be interviewed. Real quick, John, to answer your question, just 2 more subscribers until James wraps. Just 2.
So John, if you know somebody, get them to sub.
So he shares our links every week. So he's very.
I appreciate you, John.
Yeah, John Blattner is amazing. You have to say his full name though when you.
John Blattner, I appreciate you, John Blattner.
So yeah, why do you want Naomi back, sir? If you're out there listening to this, obviously, like, Naomi is perfectly adequate. She is decent. She's good in the ring. She's good in the ring.
Yeah, she's very athletic. She's very athletic.
There is nothing significant about her. Whereas, like, Sasha's a star. Why would you not want the star back and want someone who's just straight up not a star? You think Naomi, under any other circumstances, gets invited to the She-Hulk premiere? Like, if she doesn't do this with Sasha Banks, like the publicity stuff, like there's, like she's just not that person. She's been there too long. She's in Natalia in that regard, but more like a Ziggler, where it's a little more sad. Whereas Natalia, I just don't care. You know, like, it's just you've been there too long. You escaped being a Funkadactyl, but that actually wasn't a bad thing. That was bad for, you know, Brodus Clay, but it wasn't bad for you and Cameron. Like, that was fine for you guys. That was over. It was fine. I don't know. But yeah, you're wrong, dude. I'll take, even if Sasha does botch, I'll take over Naomi any day of the week, 3 times over. Like, a star is a star, and you can't deny it, even if you don't like her. It's weird. Anyway, for some fucking reason, poor kidnapped victim, The Miz, has to have a match with Bobby Lashley. Like, what the fuck, man? I do not like The Miz, but you know who I feel really bad for right now? The Miz. You know who I don't like right now? Bobby Lashley, who is just constantly taking advantage of this kidnap. He was kidnapped a week ago, and Lashley has taken advantage of it twice.
This goes back. This goes all the way to the top if you think about it, because WWE put Miz in this match. You know. Yeah. So, you know, like, they had Adam Pearce, Miz, you know, we're so sorry about what happened. I need you to know you have access to emotional support, therapy, whatever you need. We're here. We can provide it for you. But yes, you have to go against the Terminator, Bobby Lashley, and just, you know, Godspeed, though. Godspeed. Yeah. Very really victim blamey too. Very victim blamey too. Yeah. Like, you know, because you didn't speak up, he's out now. Imagine if that, like
bro, there was video evidence. Okay, what the hell do you need? The Miz doesn't have to say anything. The proof is there. Like, oh my God, it is poor Miz, poor innocent Miz. Don't turn him babyface, but poor innocent fucking Miz. Oh my God.
And how great has Ciampa been throughout all this? Like, genuinely supportive of Mike.
Yeah.
Genuinely in his corner, trying to make him feel better. If
we weren't getting Sammy and KO reuniting, Miz and Ciampa should be going after the tag title.
Absolutely. Maybe
they could be their first opponents after the blamed Canadians win. Yeah, poor Miz had to face Lashley, and I just felt so bad for him. And like I said, I think you should have kept him off TV for a bit just to sell how shaken up he is. If you are going to bring him back, don't have him have to wrestle a match against the babyface like Bobby Lashley. Have him do a Miz TV segment, but he keeps choking on the words and he's visibly shaken and he just can't do it. I feel weird saying give us more Miz TV because I'm sick of it. I think most people, if you're not sick of Miz TV, then you are genuinely delusional. But like, this would be the perfect time to do it where he can't hit his normal spots, his normal beats. He can't hit the catchphrases. It's so easy. It's such a better way to show the Miz is mentally shaken up than to have to wrestle someone he would never beat anyway, in just an unfair situation.
The guy who beat him for the WWE title, like, what, a year ago, 2 years ago?
You know what? He bullied the shit out of him then, too.
Yep.
God, Lashley is so mean to the Miz. Oh, my God.
You should like Lashley more.
I mean, I liked it the first time, but not this time. This one was messed up.
It's like kicking a puppy.
Miz deserved it, back then, but he didn't deserve to be kidnapped, But anyway, during the match, there was in one of the backstage segments, Miz walks by Dexter Lumis in a security guard outfit, but he doesn't realize that he pauses and looks around, and there's a regular security guard there. The way they shot this was really clever, so that they could have actually done this in one take because they were right on the corner, so they could have swapped out while the camera was on Miz and Ciampa. That was really good. Actually, it could have been really corny, but I thought it was really good. And then during the match, Lumis showed up at the top of the stairs in the crowd. Spotlight was on him for some reason. So again, I think this does go to the top that WWE is in on it because why'd you put the spotlight on him?
Right.
Then Miz is freaking out, and then they cut back to he's telling Ciampa to go look, and Ciampa turns around and he's gone. I can't wait to see fan footage of Lumis just slowly walking out of the aisle. But that was good. And then Lashley again took advantage of poor fucking victim Miz and made him tap in the Hurt Lock. Poor guy, poor Miz. We feel so bad for him here. Poor guy. He doesn't deserve this.
And he's getting gaslit too, because it's like, what did Miz see? That's the commentary. What did Miz see? And it's like, we see him on camera. This isn't something he's hallucinating. Why are you making it seem that way? This was so Attitude Era, and especially like, should we just talk about the last Miz segment just to get it all in? Yeah.
Miz is leaving the arena. He once again doesn't want to talk about it. Ciampa's like, "Are you sure you're good to drive?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good. And he's like, "Okay." And he lets him go. Miz gets in his car, and then Lumis is in the trunk, well lit, mind you, staring at the window. I guess Kevin Fitzgerald, I don't know. And I don't know why he's staring at Kevin, but it's very once again it's heavily implied that Miz is dead, but we'll see where that goes, but. Yeah, he's being gaslit, and you felt like you were ramping up to a point.
Yeah, this feels so Attitude Era. This feels like a storyline that, like, the Undertaker, like, kidnapping Stephanie in the limo. This feels so soap opera-y, and I don't think there are two better people in the company to tell this story than Miz and Dexter Lumis. So as cheesy as it is, I think it's perfect. I think it's a fun little storyline. It's the type of weird, zany stuff that WWE hasn't really done in a long time, or at least done well in a long time. So I'm happy to see it in a small dose.
Yeah.
And it's instantly gotten Dexter Lumis over. It's probably the most invested I've been in a Miz storyline in a while.
Probably,
And
definitely is. Let's be real.
So in general, I think this is a great story, a great bit. And man, I agree with you. Don't turn Miz face off this. But at the same time, did they really manage to make us feel sympathetic for Mike and also sort of resent WWE management? A weird feeling in this new era, but it's been good. And Bobby Lashley, man, was this a title match?
No, it was just
okay. Just a regular match. Miz couldn't even get a title match after getting kidnapped. WWE wouldn't even give him a title match. Management sucks.
I think it's just fucked up they let him compete in that condition. That's bad, right? I think John Oliver needs to come out with another episode of Last Week Tonight at WWE after this, but
give it time.
Poor guy, good stuff. And yeah, this is very Attitude Era, and I think it works because they're not making it too campy or goofy, but they're not taking it too serious either.
Exactly. It's that sweet spot in the middle.
Yeah. Because I'd rather it be Undertaker kidnapping Stephanie than Undertaker kidnapping Teddy Long, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'll take this. And hell, what I was thinking during the show is maybe this leads to Ciampa being like, I'm just as psychotic as this guy. I can play his game too. And maybe he kidnaps Indy Hartwell or something. I don't know. Like, you know, like I'm spitballing here because I didn't think about this like too much, but like, I want Ciampa to out psycho Dexter Lumis. And I don't see why not. I mean, we're building towards a Dom Rhea Ripley match, so why can't
because here's the thing. Dom Rhea Ripley is unfair to Dom. Ciampa versus Indy would be unfair to Indy, and I don't want to see that. I like Indy. No, who fucking cares about Dom? Who cares about the guy that if he switched haircuts with the person bullying them, they would both look better? Tell me I'm wrong.
No.
Rhea would look so much better with that haircut than Dom does.
Than Dom, yeah, but not better than she does with her hair. But yeah, Rhea would look better than she does with her own haircut, but she would look better than Dom does with his stupid haircut, sure.
And I think Dom would look better if he had Rhea's haircut.
Dom would look better if he had any other haircut, so that's not fair.
That is not fair.
But Rhea looks badass with her haircut, so I don't want to change that. But anyway, after that, oh boy, a real quick chat. How do you guys feel about kidnapping in wrestling? Do we like it, yeah or nay? What about gaslighting? I'm a very big fan of gaslighting in wrestling. You know, that's why I like the Ezekiel, Kevin Owens stuff so much. You know, I see a lot of people online being like, oh, thank God they reset Kevin Owens' character. Like, he's been doing nothing for so long. I'm like, Kevin Owens has always done good stuff. But yeah, I do enjoy the character reset. He's the only one where, like, people are slowly transitioning. Kevin Owens was the only one where Triple H is like, yeah, I don't care. You're the old Kevin Owens immediately. Yep. But, like, Kevin Owens did great work. He did great work with Roman when he first faced him. He did great work with Ezekiel. I don't care what anyone says. That was fantastic shit. That was the last good thing Vince did before leaving. But, you know, like Kevin Owens has always done good in whatever role. It's just you didn't like the role he was in. But, like, he's always done good shit.
And I'll just add on to what you're saying, too. I don't think Kevin was reset all that much. Kevin's character has always been somebody to call out something that he finds ridiculous. And the only thing that changed between the Ezekiel story and now Sammy's story is his reaction to it.
Yeah.
He was in utter disbelief to the point that it seemed funny. But here he's just disappointed. But either way, it's the same guy, just a little, it doesn't feel that different. And I think that's how good Kevin Owens is. You know, it's just a different facet of who he is.
Yep. Shout out to the chat. Kidnapping for the culture, gaslighting for the vibe.
John Blattner gets it.
So up next, Kurt Angle is out. He's from Pittsburgh, as it is. And, you know, Kurt, what is Kurt short for? Curtis, right? Curtis Angel.
Oh, okay.
Curtis Angel. He's out there in his wrestling gear. Why? You know, I wrote in my notes, oh, he's clearly going to have a match. Way to give that away. And then out came Alpha Academy, and I'm like, oh, he's definitely going to have a match. And you know what? I'm okay with it, but it's weird that he's out there, you know, with his old man body with no shirt on. But, you know, who am I to judge? But
well, you're doing a good job of it.
Yep. You might as well put me. I could beat up Dom, so you can put me in Judgment Day. But that's a low bar, and then anyone can be in Judgment Day. But anyway, Alpha Academy comes out. Chad Gable's fantastic. He's praising up Kurt Angle, but he's also, you know, being patronizing or patronizing if you're British and speak English properly, which is fine. You know, and he's like, he gives him an opportunity, a great opportunity to join the Alpha Academy, who are clearly on the up and up. You know, they're looking for a new member, and they give him a special one night only offer to join, and he turns him down. And then Chad Gable starts shushing him, you know, and he interrupts the crowd. The crowd are chanting, "You suck," which, you know, it's a little confusing because, like, are you cheering for Kurt Angle, or are you telling Chad Gable he sucks? Like, what's going on here? You know, it's a little confusing when you have your chant is "you suck," but now everyone loves you, but they still chant it at you. You know. But Gable has a great line where he's like, hey, don't interrupt, don't boo. There's an Olympic hero in the ring. And Kurt Angle's here too. And I thought that was great. And they shush each other, and it's fantastic. And then they offered him a jacket, and he turned it down. Like, what a
rudely,
dick.
very
like,
rudely.
Dick, you know, like,
that's his son's old tag team partner. Why would he be so rude to him?
That's his real legitimate son right there.
No, like, that's Brian Danielson's legitimate son. Remember, Brian was a very virile 5-year-old.
That's true. Yeah. They don't call him Mr. Small Package for nothing. But it was a great segment. And then for some reason the Street Profits made the save for Kurt Angle when Alpha Academy were going to beat him up. And then they had a custody of Kurt Angle tag team match.
On a pole.
And I really wanted the Alpha Academy to win, but obviously they weren't going to win.
Yeah.
But this was fine, and this played into the Street Profits tension or whatever, because they put over on commentary. This is actually their first time teaming up in a while because they've been having a lot of singles matches. And it's like, yeah, in WWE time, like a month is like fucking 8 years, so that's reasonable for them to say. But the Street Profits win. And then they give Kurt a red Solo cup, and he's like, oh, this is too strong, and he sells it. Very over the top, very bad, but in like that good Kurt Angle way.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he takes out some milk in the little glass bottles, and it's like, where did you find those? Those are definitely expired. They don't make those anymore. Like, that's expired milk you just gave them. You know, I don't know if that's how yogurt's made, but like that's what happened there, and they all cheers and drank, and cool. I don't know what the point of this was anymore. It was great at first. I don't know why I had a tag match, but the match was good. What did you think about everything? The return, the interaction, the match.
I love Kurt, and it's gotten to a point by the end of his last run, like with WWE, where, you know, before he retired officially, it was hard to see him both in the ring and on the mic. You know, he was having a rough go of it, but maybe he stumbled over a word or two tonight, but overall he sounded very good. And it was fun to see him having fun in the ring. It's so easy to remember Kurt as the Olympic gold medalist, the wrestling machine. Like, it's very easy to remember Kurt as that guy. But Kurt was always amazing at the funny stuff too. It's what got him over, really. It was how committed he was to being a dorky character who was also very intense, and like he never minded being the butt of the joke. And if we couldn't get Kurt Angle wrestling Chad Gable tonight, this was the best way of having Kurt Angle interact with Chad Gable. And I was happy to see Kurt get a good response in his hometown. I'm loving that Alpha Academy is getting more and more to do. I think both Chad and Otis are so underappreciated and can achieve so much more if they're given the opportunity. And week by week, I feel like we're inching closer to that for them. So I'm very happy. The Street Profits, how weird is it that like the Street Profits are the ones on Kurt's team and we're against, like we're supposed to be against him being with Alpha Academy? But it was nice. Glad they got a win. They've needed it. They've been on a pretty bad losing streak in general. And got to give it to Dawkins. He carried most of the match, and he looked good doing so, I thought.
I think he proved himself in the match against Seth. I thought his match with Seth was a little bit better than Montez's.
I agree. So, I think Dawkins has been repeatedly proving himself. The issue is the bar is so high because of the expectations with Montez Ford that Dawkins needs to continuously remind people it's not Montez Ford plus Angelo Dawkins. It should be both of them. Like, and there was subtle little things too. Like he wrestled without a shirt tonight, which isn't something I think he normally does, right? He usually wrestles in a jersey top.
I mean, no, half the time he just has the singlet on.
Oh, the singlet. Yeah, the singlet. And tonight, like shirtless, and it looked good on him. You know, he looked more serious in a way. He had the top rope move, like the over the top rope dive, and he hit that great finish. I forget what it's called, but it's like the double arm setup, and then he puts him in the air and flips him. Yeah. He looked great tonight, and I really don't want that to be a thing.
Was that us? I can't hear you. You muted yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
No, because I couldn't hear myself when I was unmuted because I have it on the speaker. My bad, everybody. What?
Nothing, don't worry.
Yeah. But yeah, I want more Dawkins. I would love it if Kurt can pop up more often than not, but I get that this was a one-night thing, and just great segment overall. It doesn't need to lead into anything, in my opinion. It's fine as is for a one-night thing, especially because it was Pittsburgh for Kurt. So in a vacuum, this was a great segment.
I would just like to say that Kurt Angle was not as over in Pittsburgh as Britt Baker is. So real quick, chat, or even if you're watching this later on, Kurt Angle or Britt Baker? I think I know your answer, John, but still, anyway. You know, one of those people won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck. The other one is a practicing dentist, which, you know, takes a long time and a lot of dedication as well. So, you know, there's some pros and cons, but I agree. I mean, the only thing I don't disagree with, I agree with the sentiment, but I will say that I think Alpha Academy has done a lot, and you know, especially when they won the tag titles and they had the academic challenges with our Bro, like I don't think they'll ever top that, but they could still do stuff equal to or close to that.
Yeah.
But other, like, you know, I agree with the sentiment behind that, especially because they really fell off since, you know, WrestleMania season. But yeah, I agree that there's a lot going on, but you know, fun stuff. Yeah, fuck it. Have the legend in their hometown do something like that's overall that's totally fine. But anyway, if we can move on real quick, what's the last movie you saw?
New movie or just movie in general?
Just movie in general.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Cool. What did you give it out of 11?
12.
Okay, good to know. All right, well, after that, we have a...
What was the last movie you saw?
I don't know. I don't watch movies. Movies are for mean people. Anyway, have I ever seen a movie? No, never. But anyway, next we had a segment between Matt Riddle, that is,
Matt Riddle,
and Seth freaking Rollins, which is great because, you know, he doesn't have the G on freaking, and I never pronounce the G on any words than an ing, and it's not on purpose. It's just the way it is. But it's accidentally the Bronx to me. I don't know, but so that works out. They have a little promo. They're via satellite in 2 different locations because earlier in the night they fought in the parking lot. They had a little tiff, a little argument. And it was filmed on someone's cell phone, and it was really lame. But I like the idea, you know, so I won't be harsh on it. But like, it looked and sounded stupid, but the idea was cool. So it's fine. Take those chances with the format. I'm all for mixing it up, and maybe they'll do it better some other time in the future. But anyway, so instead of having them face to face in the ring, they're via satellite and they're talking to each other, and it cuts promo, and it's fine. It's whatever. It's generic stuff. But then the segment ends. They go to commercial.
Well, you gotta say what the last line that Riddle hit was. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense going into the after the commercial.
What was the last line he said? Oh yeah, no, never mind. I actually forget the exact wording, but he said along the lines of, "Becky is the only man in your family," you know, and you know, good stuff. Seth is gonna have to hear that from now until forever because his wife is the bigger star. You know? But they come back for commercial, and you know they show what happened after they went to commercial, and this was again they're playing with the format, but this one I thought was perfect, home run, loved it. Don't do it again right away, but do this again in the future, because Seth, they had like we're off the air, you know, whatever you tell me, you're the Hollywood guy. What cue do you give when the segment ends and the camera doesn't stop rolling, but the scene's over? What they say?
I mean, when they cut, that's typically not a thing that happens. You know, they don't really keep the camera rolling after in a situation like that.
But what do they say to signify? Do they just say cut, or do they say anything else?
They say cut. Yeah, it's cut.
Okay, gotcha. You have plenty of TV experience, so I trust you. You know this information, but you know the camera doesn't stop rolling, but you know they're not live anymore, pal. And Seth, I loved Seth's delivery of this. This wasn't typical Seth Rollins corny dipshit heel delivery, which I like. Don't get me wrong, but like this didn't feel like a character. It was like Riddle was like, all right, we're done, like we're good to go, and like so he's starting to take off his mic. Seth so casually, so menacingly, like the most he's ever felt like an actor and not a fucking wrestler. It was just like, Riddle, you still there? I was like, yeah. Even Riddle's reaction too, he was perfect. Just like, yeah, I'm still here. Again, felt more like an actor or like a person, actor being a real person than a wrestler. Especially for Riddle, who's like a typical stoner, which I love, but like felt the most real and down to earth here. He's like, yeah, he's like, I want to bring my family into this. How about I bring your family into this? It's like, oh wait, you don't have any because your wife left you, she took your kids, and you're never gonna let them see you again. Like, I didn't know Riddle had kids. Honestly, I knew his wife left him, but I didn't know he had kids.
I think he's got 2, maybe 3. But,
There we go. And who said that smoking weed, lowers your sperm count and leads to lower sex drive? All right, get out of here. Get out of here with that shit. But anyway, I just looked at her chat. I'm sorry.
I know I don't know why he doesn't like me.
I think he's hard because he sees the potential in you and he just wants you to live up to it, and that's why he's hard on you. It's tough love. He knows you're a made man and he needs you to know that, so he has to be a little rough on you, Yeah. John Blatner saw La La Land at the beginning of the year, and his life has been a wreck since. And I never saw that movie, but I've heard stuff, Yep. But so I'm so sorry. We're in the middle of a really good segment that they hit out of the park. Riddle gets pissed at this because again, Rollins says, "Your wife left you, took your kids. I'll never let you see them again." And it was like, "Oh yeah," it's like say that to my face. And he's like, so it's like, "Oh, you're just a little bitch," like blah blah. He said the B word, ooh, It's serious. But
yeah.
This was different because Riddle gets fired up. He's like, "Where are you right now? Where are you right now? Like, I'll come find you." He's like, "Say that to my face. Say that to my bleeping face." It's like, we're not just gonna fight. I'm not just gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna fuck you up.
You didn't bleep at that time.
Yeah. Well, okay, sorry. I'm gonna fuck you up, But this was so good. They dropped F-bombs, censored F-bombs, and you know what? Not only was this good because it's like it's different and I don't want to say edgy, but like it's edgier. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense that Riddle was the one who was like, "We're clear, right?" So he thinks, "All right, we're off air." I'm not like, I can say he is mad, but he knows because he's a professional. He's like, "Oh, we're off the air. I can say whatever I want to this guy because this isn't for the show. This isn't going on our PG-13 show. This is just me and him talking to each other. No one, even though the camera's still rolling, as far as he's concerned, there's no one else around because, like you said, when you cut, the cameras usually stop rolling. But so him cursing makes sense in the way they set it up. I thought this was perfect. I thought this was brilliant. I thought the original promo did nothing to make me excited for this match.
Yeah.
This, oh my God, I am so pumped. Like, I said it jokingly, but you do have TV experience. You do have experience in this field. Talk me through how you felt about this, and just if you feel the same way I do.
Oh no, I adored it. I think this might have been the best part of the night in terms of hype. Like it wasn't the best segment or the best match. Obviously, it wasn't a match, but it did more to hype me up for the pay-per-view on Saturday than I think anything else did during the night. And it's the most I've liked the Matt Riddle character, I think, ever, because he's still the fun-loving guy, but he's taking it seriously. This is a serious thing to him. And Seth made it personal. And you mentioned like, oh, he said bitch, big deal, whatever. I hate in the past, like Vince's WWE, PG WWE, whenever they used bitch, they emphasized it so much, like it was an exclamation point. You got that, ... bitch. And I'm like, okay, if I was 12, this would feel like a big deal. But the way Seth said it, you got that, bitch? It was like, oh, fuck. Like, there was something behind it, It felt, like you said, it felt real. I don't want to use the word edgy, and this word has been used ad nauseum over the years, but it felt gritty. It felt raw, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And, if I'm Seth and if I'm Matt Riddle in kayfabe, I'd be pissed that got out. I'd be pissed that segment made it to TV because Seth is like, oh my God, this isn't the character that I've been pretending to be all this time. That Seth character he's been, and Matt Riddle is not the guy who's like bro all the time. Like they were their real selves, and that's not what they have been presenting on TV. Seth could have done that before the cameras stopped rolling or when they were supposed to stop rolling. When they cut, he could have. But just like how Riddle thought he was safe to curse, Seth thought he was safe to say that shitty thing.
Yeah. And
it was great.
I think the way he said bitch was so casual, and that's what made it cut so deep. But the only thing that would have made this feel more real is that when Matthew Riddle thought he was clear, if he, had just pulled out a blunt and was about to light it before Seth said that. But, we'll get there. They're not willing to go that far. Actually, no. Miz got kidnapped. Not Matthew Riddle can smoke a blunt. It's not that big a deal. Grow up, people. It's 2022. All right. Smoking weed was cool in like 2009. Okay. It's just normal now. It's casual now. It's not even cool anymore. It's just a thing, so let Matthew do it. He's not cool because he's a stoner. Why is he cool?
He says bro a lot.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but that was cool like 25 years ago and like 15 years ago. It's always cool. It's fine. But great stuff. Yeah, I think you're right. It absolutely was the best part of the night. Definitely the best segment of the night. And so far, the best go-home angle to Clash at the castle, but I have a feeling we're gonna get a good one on SmackDown. But actually no, it's pre-taped. It doesn't matter. Fuck it. It does, even if it is good, it can't be better. It can't possibly be better. But that being said, we're one subscriber away from this guy right across from me, right beneath me, right next to me, to my left and or my right. I can't see from your perspective, but we are one subscriber away from him rapping. It's going to be amazing. We're so close, you guys. Don't you want to be the one who can say that you are responsible for this? Don't you want to be that one subscriber who's like, yes, this is because of me. Okay. And ultimately, good or bad, because we might get canceled and taken off the internet after this rap comes out. Who knows? I don't know what this guy's going to write. He seems nice and friendly, like a little cuddly teddy bear, but he is a porcupine of the mouth, so we just don't know what he's gonna say. But moving on, Edge and Kurt Angle have a cute little old man segment backstage where they're like, hey, remember when we didn't look like 50 and 62 respectively? But that was fine. And then Dom and Ray were like, hey Dom, you suck, so I'm gonna partner with Edge at the pay-per-view. Real quick, by the way, I'm super bummed that it's a 2-on-2 and not a 6-person intergender tag.
Me too.
But you know what? If that means we're just gonna get Rhea versus Beth in a singles match or down the line at a bigger show, or not a bigger show, but like another show, that's fine. You want to give things more of a build. That's why I don't think we're not gonna get Austin Theory versus Jonathan Gargano.
I agree. We're not getting it. Not anytime soon.
And that's good. We shouldn't. And I'll get this over quick because I didn't even make a note for this, but since I brought his name up, Johnny Gargano had a pre-tape from earlier in the day. He was sitting in the empty stadium, and Theory came up and cut one of the best promos of his life, where he was pretty much made me think, yeah, you're right, Theory. Gargano is wrong here. Oh, you had one kid. What's the freaking doing? You know how many cats me and James have? Are you kidding me?
They're exhausting. Exhausting.
A kid. Oh my god. Cool. Good luck in 13 years with that. But anyway, it was good stuff. But this felt like AEW. Oh no, James is gone. We can see you, James. Like, it's not like on speaker view where no one can see that you left. Everyone can see that you're gone now. Are you going? Did you think of a really good line for the rap? You had to go write it down. Just write it on the note app on your phone. Oh my god, how convenient! You got a cat right there. Oh my god, look at that! Look how happy! Look how happy that cat looks to be here. Look at that foot. Now. There we go.
Go, mama.
Good shit. Where else are you gonna get this? James, can you do the laugh again? I don't know what laugh you're talking about. The Seth Rollins, maybe?
The cackle. I don't even know if that's right, but
Gian. Anyway. Shit. Sorry. But yeah, this felt very AEW in the sense of like it was a really weak follow-up to the return / debut / call-up of Gargano. Like, this is exactly what AEW does. Have this big debut, and the next week they just have maybe a backstage interview or a pre-tape, and then it's a weak follow-up. But I was so happy with Theory's promo that I'm accepting of it.
I agree. It feels weird because it sounds like I'm disagreeing with you, but I do agree. Everything about Johnny's return has been low-key. First, it was just the out-of-nowhere return right off the commercial break. This week, it's the pre-taped promo that wasn't like even backstage. It was just in the arena sitting down, whatever. But I think it's essential because we're really getting to know Johnny, and it's growing Theory, who, God willing, will be Austin Theory again. But we're getting to know these characters in a deeper way. Johnny Gargano works the same way Daniel Bryan worked, the same way in NXT Sami Zayn worked. He works when you have the crowd invested in who he is as a person. And the more we get to know him, the better. Now, it's interesting that they are sort of painting it with a gray brush here because Theory is kind of right. I get it. You had a kid and you're busy, but you could have texted me after I won Money in the Bank. You could have texted me after I won the United States title. You could have texted me after I wrestled at WrestleMania. You didn't every time.
And he saw enough to know that Theory was a little shit. That's why he didn't like him from the second he came out last week.
See, but
like,
he disagreed. Gargano even said it again tonight. I was excited that Theory came out. So either he's full of shit and he's lying, or he's denying to himself that he was wrong. And he would rather kick him and say, yeah, no, you're the bad guy, than admit that he kind of let his friend down.
John Blattner complimented your t-shirt.
Oh, why, thank you.
John, I have a front bottom shirt on from the drive-in. You can't see it because of the yellow writing, but it's from the drive-in concert during COVID, which was a fun experience, but I'd rather drive-in concerts are almost based. They're close, but no, I don't think anything you're saying is wrong. It's fine to do this, but this was like one of those ones where like, oh, this is what AEW usually does. It's like the hype return and then nothing. But I think it's better than having him just a random match. I think maybe, I don't know. But then you kind of have to because he's Johnny Wrestling. There's a lot of the audience that doesn't know why they should care so much about him, and you got to give him that reason. But we're getting there.
I think Monday he'll have a match. There's no point in putting him in a random match before Clash, not lead really to anything.
Exactly.
Keep it low key and then put an emphasis on him next week.
Yeah. So that being said, we're gonna move on. Real quick, before we get to the next and I guess final segment, do you have Spotify?
I do not.
Do you have Apple Music?
I have iTunes. I don't know if that helps. Oh my God. I know. I'm genuinely sorry. When it comes to music, I'm happy when it plays. But I cannot answer anything when it comes to music. When it comes to movies, I can tell you anything. Anything.
I'm like the opposite, so I get that. Okay, so that negates the conversation I want to have. So we'll just move on to the YouTube music for the win.
Yeah.
For Eric, I normally have a lot of respect for you, right? This is not one of those times. Just download one of the fucking apps that doesn't pay artists enough and just move on with your life. I don't think YouTube does either. Like, fuck. All these services are bad, but none of us have the balls to download titles. So, like, what are you gonna do? I at least buy merch and go to concerts. So, I'll spend the money on it. But anyway, Sami Zayn is here, which means the bloodline is here, which is a little but Sami Zayn's here, and that's very, very good.
As long as Sami drove them to the arena.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Originally I was thinking that would just be funny because Sami Zayn is so good in this role, but now I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, he'd be saving lives, potentially. That's good on you, man. Good on you. So they came out, and I was so immediately hyped. I've never been hyped for the Usos being on Raw because it's normally lame because it's like Roman can't be bothered to be here, so you send the lackeys, and then it feels pointless, and everything about them being there feels pointless. But here, because Sami Zayn has single-handedly revived, which sounds weird because it's the top star in the company, but he single-handedly revived the bloodline from the stale bullshit they've been doing for like a year and a half now. They came out, they cut a promo about Reigns' title reign. They're going to have a 2-year celebration on SmackDown. And Sami was brilliant. At first, when the Usos were talking, he would just interject. Because, he doesn't understand. In response to something the Usos said, he just grabbed the mic and very, timidly was like, yeet. And it's like, no, that's just not the context you use yeet. I don't like saying yeet, but you know,
if you're gonna say it, say it right.
Is like a, you know, it's a verb, you know, you eat something, you know, like if you handed me a Twix, you know, or a Snickers, I would eat it across the street, you know. You gotta treat yourself before you eat yourself, you know, like that's some people always say. But it's fantastic. He interrupts Jay, who he's beefing with, you know, and I think it would be hilarious if he gets him isolated from the bloodline. Uh, he interrupts him to say that he's going to be hosting the festivities on Friday, and then he hypes up the Usos, who, you know, he wins them back over. They're interrupted by Kevin Owens, and I was transfixed on the screen at this point because I'm so invested in the idea of Sammy and Kevin Owens coming back together through the means of feuding with the bloodline. Sammy has worked so hard to get in the good graces of, and I'm sure you've seen his interactions with Roman in the past 2 weeks. I think it's the best Roman stuff since the first month and a half with Jay. Honestly, like
I think so too.
Like I think it's so good the way he was just like, yeah, you were there for me, like, because it felt like he is manipulating Sammy, but like Sammy did win him over. Like it wasn't.
He's
like
realizing his worth while also still keeping him under his thumb, and it's pure this Roman, like this Roman character. This storyline with Sammy is emphasizing it beautifully.
Yeah. Like Sammy proved it to us, and we watched Roman figure out what we already knew, so it was gratifying.
Yes.
So I was so into this, and Kevin Owens came out. It's like, you know, I was like, I know you, and like you're better than this. You're one of the best wrestlers in the world, and it genuinely makes me sad to see you like this. I still consider you my best friend despite everything we've been through.
Brother.
Yeah, he's like, I need more than that. You're my brother. He's like, this is kind of sad. You're the clown of the bloodline. He should have said Jester. That's my only note.
Right.
You know.
I thought Jester too.
Yeah.
After he was like, I'm going to be the maestro of, or whatever he said for SmackDown. It's like, Jester feels so right in like the King's Court kind of thing.
Especially the dynamic between Jimmy and Sammy, where it is like, Jimmy is just amused by Sammy, where Jay's the one who's annoyed at him. But Jester would have been the right word, but it's okay. But then Sammy's like, oh, like, it's like, no, like we're friends. He's like, me and Jimmy, we're tight, and they do their fucking handshake, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's funny. And then Kevin Owens, like, because Kevin Owens is one of the best at just ad lib, like one word, 2 word responses where you don't bring the mic fully up, you only bring it halfway, so it's not overshadowing what's being said. He's all right, that was impressive. You know, he was like, oh, that was good. You know, which it was a good handshake. He's like, me and Jay, we're getting there. We're working on it, you know? It's like, but most importantly, Roman likes me. Like, they've accepted me, you know? And Jay's like, get your boy, tell him what's up. And then they basically, oh, we can lay you out right now. And Sammy's trying to diffuse it because he still cares about Kevin. Like, it came through very well in the performance. It was very obvious how much he still cares about Kevin Owens. And then ultimately led to Jay and Kevin Owens getting in each other's face and deciding that the best way to settle it was with the match. And just real quick, John Blatner, good luck, bro. He's
be safe.
Shrooms right now.
Be safe, John Blatner.
He's good. He knows what he's doing. He's a pro. He's a Matthew Riddle in that regard. You know, he's a Cheech to your Chong. He's a Shaggy to your Scooby. You know, he's a Shaggy to your Mary Jane from the live action movie. You know, he'll be fine, but have fun, man. This is, listen to some jazz after this. But anyway, they have a match, great match, because Kevin Owens is amazing, and he has, now that Cesaro's and Brian are gone, I think he has my favorite offense, honestly, in WWE.
Sammy?
Oh, no, Kevin Owens.
Oh, Kevin Owens. Okay.
I mean, Sammy does, like, the Blue Thunder Bomb, I think, is my favorite move. And anyone in WWE, like, it's perfect. Yeah. That and the Deep Six, they're so similar, but, like, they're, like, borderline perfect moves.
I agree.
Owens just, the fisherman like Buster suplex off the second. I love it every time he does it. It's so different to me anyway. Like maybe it's done on the indies all the time, but like, you know, I love it. I think Kevin Owens is phenomenal, and like it's just nice to remember that. And there's character motivation in this match. Eventually, the Bloodline are on the outside, and they tell Sammy like get a chair, and they're very loud about their plan. The ref's right fucking there, but you know he's a little ditzy, you know. Real quick, who's worse, umpires or wrestling referees? Who's worse at their jobs?
Wrestling referees.
I think it's umpires, but
with an umpire, I can at least say, you know, you've got like a small margin, you know, that like thin line of right and wrong. Wrestling referees, it's like they sleep on the fucking job. They just look in places they're not supposed to be looking. Like, it's inexcusable.
And well, at least when a referee ejects someone, it's a little more justified.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of times umpires are just babies and they can't take.
I'll give you that.
They're not good at their job.
I'll give you that.
But yeah, overall, yeah, I guess wrestling referees do miss more. But anyway, Sammy goes to get the chair, and Jay is holding Kevin Owens against the ropes in the ring, and Jimmy is distracted on the other side. But Sammy is too conflicted to hit his best friend because even though he's on the Bloodline side, he doesn't want to do that to his friend. He has one person who he still cares about. And he has loyalty for, you know. Kevin Owens is the Gamora to Sammy's Thanos, you know? It's perfect. Kevin Owens is green. And Sami Zayn is purple. It works out. Yeah, I've seen Marvel. Yeah. Marvel's done, right? There's no more movies.
No, they're coming.
No, it ended with No Way Home. That was it. That was the end. But he couldn't hit him, so then Kevin Owens won with the stunner. And like, if you want to be an obtuse Eric about it, you could say, "Oh, Kevin Owens needed shenanigans to win," and no, he didn't. It was just a point in the match where he was down, where they tried to do this. It's not like there's no doubt in my mind Kevin Owens is ever going to lose this, you know.
And you could also make the argument that there were shenanigans against Kevin. Like Jimmy kept getting involved and distracting the ref, distracting Kevin. So if anything, it was just turnabout fair play.
Yeah, so this has me so excited for the future. And it's, again, the first time I've been excited about the Bloodline stuff in a while. So fantastic stuff. Good match. Kevin Owens always delivers. Jey Uso delivers about 90% of the time, which is an amazing track record. It's better than most umpires. So,
yep.
Good stuff. What did you think about everything?
Loved it. I've been following Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn since way before their WWE or NXT arrivals.
Wait. What was Sami Zayn doing before NXT? Because I actually did not know what he was doing before NXT.
He was carrying El Generico's bags.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
That's a feel-good story. It would be cool if they had just signed Generico, they could have had like a Virgil $1 Million Man, like kind of
absolutely
story between them. I feel like it's a missed opportunity.
I mean, it's unfortunate now because Generico died. But there was that brief time where they could have, but he died protecting those children in the orphanage in Tijuana. And he's a hero. Yeah. He's a hero. But I've been following them both for a very long time. And their story, like the Fight Forever chant was designed for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Whether they're best friends or bitter enemies, I love whenever they interact. And truthfully, they're one of the few pairings that I can never get enough of. There's never a point where I think maybe we split them up for a little while. I just always love seeing them interact in some shape, some form.
100% agree.
And Kevin Owens is one belt away from being a Grand Slam champion. And it's the tag team titles. And Sami Zayn, it's their destiny to do it together. There's no one else Kevin Owens should win the tag titles with. But in terms of this segment, I love it. I've talked to you. I've spoken on this pod. I've spoken to you about it in the past. I hate that trope of once you're a bad guy, all your good guy friends are no longer your friends. Once you become a good guy, all your old bad guy friends are no longer your friends. It's stupid. It's unrealistic. I don't like it. So the fact that there's this, again, this gray right through the middle of this storyline, and it's playing in the background of the bigger storyline on SmackDown, which is Roman versus Drew. I love when you have intersecting storylines and then they come together in a satisfying way in the end. And I think we're getting that. I don't know. I genuinely don't know if Roman drops the belt to Drew. I don't know. But I do know that Roman does not feel as protected or as secure as he's felt in a very long time. And it all comes down to Sami Zayn. I love that. I want to see it continue to play out. And the match was very good. I enjoyed the match. It's Kevin Owens. It's always going to be, at the very least, a good match, unless he's wrestling AJ Styles.
For some fucking reason.
Every time. But it was a good match, good story being told. And I feel for Sammy. I'm afraid for what happens to him on Friday. I genuinely don't know if he's going to suffer Roman's wrath. But after something I did to Kevin at Ring of Honor, I am legally obligated to cheer for him forever. And I will be cheering for him in this storyline.
I mean, I feel like I'm being baited here, but
Nope, 200 subscribers. 200 subscribers. Then I'll tell the story.
Sheesh, man. Just focus on your rap, all right? Long way to go before that, but yeah, fantastic stuff. Real quick, because we're gonna have a lot to do on the regular pod this week. Did you hear? I mean, there's a story that WWE is seriously considering putting it into Roman's reign. So that news could not have come at a better time for me to be excited, because like my excitement about Drew winning dissipated like 2 weeks ago. And this
did it come back after this last SmackDown where they like beat the shit out of him and it was like,
no, I honestly I didn't watch that, but
gotcha.
The only part I saw was when they showed the replay of Sammy
tonight.
Yeah. And I heard that, they let Sammy hit the liver kick and Roman held it. I like that. But, because, Friday was the only day I wasn't on a concert in the past couple days. But
it's just SmackDown. I get it.
Yeah, so that has me excited. And I'm just curious to see where that goes. I don't know. Should we do... Real quick, again, just, I don't know, maybe we'll talk about this in the pod, maybe we won't, but did you hear that what Vince Russo said, that he was a consultant for the USA Network for the WWE for from 2020 to late 2021?
I am shocked.
One of the worst periods of recent WWE history.
I did not hear that. And, God, he just needs to go away. Right? He needs to go away. Why do people keep bringing him back? Nothing he has done anytime he has come back has made me think it would ever be worth bringing him back again. Bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I get it. He was part of the biggest period in wrestling history, but for a lot of the wrong reasons.
Yep.
The bad for sure outweighs the good. And now he just clings to relevance the same way Bischoff or Cornette does, or Booker T,
But he's the only one who's getting hired in a creative way still. No one's hiring Bischoff as a creative consultant. No one is hiring Cornette as a creative consultant.
Bischoff was in charge of SmackDown for 4 months, where he barely showed up and did anything. But, he was the fall. He was the fall guy. Speaking of, play me in Fall Guys, anyone who's out there.
I love Fall Guys. I'll play you.
Cool. Me, you, John Blattner,
Let's do it.
Kevin from our chat, we could all play Fall Guys. But let's see. Oh, we got some more chats in. Similar to why Ricochet, Brock, Drew, Royal Rumble stuff was so good. They need condition people and thinking knowing the story will culminate at the pay-per-view. Yeah, that's true. I did enjoy the wrinkle of Ricochet being involved with the Brock and Drew stuff, but 3 weeks later, really didn't like it anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't see that being the case though here with Sammy. I don't think Sammy is going to get thrown aside. I think he's going to have a storyline payoff. Ricochet got ricocheted across the ring, and that was it.
Yeah, I don't ever see you guys. Yo, I play Knockout City like almost every day, Eric, and you never get on with me. Don't even, bro. If this ended like 30 minutes ago, I would have played before I went to bed. But it's almost 1 a.m. here in New York, so that's 1 a.m. normal time. So who knows what it is in every other time zone?
Who cares? No, yeah. I care.
I barely care. I have like 3 friends on the West Coast, so I guess I care. But anyway, that was Raw. Those were a couple of interesting news tidbits, and maybe we'll do some news tidbits that we missed on a regular pod on Mondays. That was an idea I had that I wanted to run by you guys, but I'm running by you now live on the air because who cares? People you have work at success. Eric, what do you even do, dude? Don't you just like show up to film sets and take pictures to post on Instagram and then complain about it? Like, what is
he's got to be up. He's got to work at 6 a.m. and he's up at 1. He's never going to make it in this town. Yeah,
dude, that's super irresponsible. Like, you don't get to complain about having work early in the morning when you're up at late at night. Like, like I would complain about having to be at work on Thursday after doing the pod on Wednesday. You know what I do? I just don't do the pod. I go to sleep. It's so you don't get to make that excuse, dude. Go make it in this town. Go pay Michael Rappaport to do a cameo for you or something, man. I don't know what you want me to say. And that's the first time I think I've ever said that name out loud. So,
it doesn't roll off the tongue. It doesn't roll off the tongue in a way that you think it would.
What is he? He's in a lot of things. So he's one of those people you've seen in like a bunch of shit. But
I love Michael Rappaport. It's just
yeah.
Oh boy.
I don't know. Eric, you look like you like the Try Guys, Yeah, John, Knockout City is still a thing. Re-download it and play it with me. And you could do it on shrooms. I'm sure it'll be fine. Nothing bad will happen. Everyone, do drugs if you want to. Don't do drugs if you don't want to.
Safely.
Yeah, safely. Do the cool drugs, the fun drugs, not the hard drugs, not the life-ruining drugs. Okay. Smoke a little weed if you want to. Do shrooms if you want to, safely. If you don't want to, don't do it. It's totally fine. But you should do no matter what your opinion on it is.
We're so close to just stopping the live stream. I need you to know that before we get in trouble.
What? We get in trouble. We're telling people to be responsible. Anyway, be nice to animals.
Yes.
Take care of animals. Adopt, don't shop. You fucking idiots. Okay. Don't drink and drive. If you're gonna
be kind, rewind.
Yeah, if you're gonna drink, call Sami Zayn, let him drive you. He will be there for sure. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Spay and neuter your pets. That's actually you should if you have indoor pets. Go through adoption agencies. There are plenty of ways. Just be a better person. Don't litter. Every time you litter, you kill 9 penguins. So keep that in mind next time. So you just throw your trash on the ground when there's a garbage can on the street corner. Go out and vote. I don't know. I'm losing conviction now as I go along. But do fun stuff. Make it in this town. And subscribe to our channel because James is going to rap soon.
We're 1 away, guys. 1 away. Beard, green, rap out of my mouth. It's going to be terrible.
I cannot give you an exact time frame on the beard being green, but I can tell you this wrap will be out within 2 weeks of us hitting 100 subscribers.
Yes, absolutely.
We're aiming for sooner, but we got to give ourselves a little leeway because you know what? We're not sure how we want to film it yet.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's done. You wrote it. You're done writing, right? Like you're done.
I think so. Yes,
Okay.
I think so.
So, yeah, it's just a matter of getting it together. We got to make sure we want to get it all in one take. You know, we don't want to have to cut a bunch of shit together. So we're getting there. And anyway, I'm rambling. You should have left the stream like 8 minutes ago, but here we are. Like I said, be kind to animals. Have a good night. Don't be a B word. Yeah, get out of my stream. What are you doing here? Catch us on Wednesday. Save the planet by saying save the planet. Exactly, John. John gets it. We're all set. We're the best. We're absolutely the best. Why haven't you ended the live stream yet? I'm not going to stop. You got to cut me off mid-sentence.
I was going to do a bit where we were going to be like, are we off? And then like someone was going to say something about each other's kids and how we're a bitch. But you just kept going.
That's a terrible idea. We would never do anything like that. Anyway, good night, folks.
Good night.
Are we off?
All right. We're off.
I don't believe you.
Good night, everybody.